Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're taking a completely fresh look at a massive operational upgrade, the modern digital menu board. We're not just talking about shiny screens here, right? We're diving deep into the invisible, hard-working software that actually makes them tick. So if you're an operator who knows the absolute pain of an outdated system, stick around. We're going to explore exactly how restaurants are ditching the paper and adopting a fully integrated, automated digital ecosystem.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. We'll start with the paper menu problem, then look at the ROI of going digital. Next, we'll cover choosing the right hardware, followed by the brains of the operation, POS integration. After that, we'll walk through a step-by-step rollout, and finally, peek into the future of signage.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the paper menu problem, and navigating the absolute chaos of manual updates.
Seriously, I want you to picture the sheer panic of a Friday lunch rush. The line's literally backing up out the door, the expediter is yelling, and suddenly, the kitchen completely runs out of avocado. Now your stressed-out manager has to sprint around, frantically searching for a roll of masking tape and a Sharpie just to physically 86 that avocado toast on a printed board. It's messy. It practically guarantees miscommunication between the front of house and the kitchen, and frankly, every single second spent dealing with it is costing you sales.
The operational burden of that old-school method is just staggering. Data shows operators are spending over 6 hours a week wrestling with paper menus, Excel sheets, and endless sticky notes. And then add the intense anxiety of compliance nightmares to the mix. Think about strict food laws requiring you to track and flawlessly display clear allergen info for up to 14 different substances on a printed sheet. It's a lot. On the flip side, going digital removes that anxiety completely. It instantly integrates those complex allergen alerts, automatically flips your menu from breakfast to lunch the second the clock strikes 10:30 a.m., and completely eliminates human error from the equation.
Moving right along to Section 2, going digital and the undeniable business case for screens. Making the switch to dynamic digital boards captures a really compelling, hard return on investment. We're talking about an average 3 to 5% bump in overall sales across the board. But you know what's truly fascinating? It's the psychology behind why this actually happens. Data shows a 2.5 to 3% increase in margin per transaction, and that's because dynamic motion naturally draws the human eye. Brighter, animated displays subtly but effectively guide your customers toward unplanned, high-margin impulse buys, like adding a premium milkshake or loaded fries to their order, without your cashier ever even having to say a word. Now, you might be sweating the initial capital expense of buying all those displays, but the timeline to break even is incredibly fast. Real-world data from major QSRs, like Burger King, for instance, shows that you can recoup this entire upfront investment in as little as 9 to 18 months. In fact, nearly 90% of businesses make their money back in under 2 years. So the financial math here isn't just some theoretical projection, it's solid and it's been proven at scale.
Which brings us to Section 3. Choosing the right hardware, and why your standard consumer TV just won't cut it. Taking a cheap consumer TV from a big box store and mounting it in a sweltering, grease-filled restaurant kitchen is a one-way ticket to a totally voided warranty. Consumer screens are engineered to run, maybe 4 to 6 hours a day in a nice climate-controlled living room? Commercial-grade displays, on the other hand, are absolute workhorses built for 24/7 operation. What's really cool is they feature a special conformal coating. It's basically a protective chemical layer on the internal circuit boards that literally repels food particles, moisture, and vaporized frying oil. Plus, if a commercial unit ever does go down, enterprise providers often offer 24-hour replacement services. That means you're never leaving your customers staring at an ugly, blank screen. Brightness is another massive factor, especially outside the four walls of the building. Commercial displays can be pushed up to an astonishing 4,000 nits of brightness. This is absolutely essential for the drive-thru. Nobody wants to squint at a washed-out, dim screen through a glare-filled windshield while a line of angry cars honks behind them. High-nit commercial displays cut right through direct midday sunlight, so your customers can read the menu completely effortlessly. Okay, let's step behind the counter for Section 4, the brains POS integration, or as I like to call it, the iceberg method. To really understand the magic happening behind the scenes, we have to talk about APIs and middleware. Think of them as the crucial, lightning-fast translators, making sure your kitchen software speaks perfectly to your lobby screens. This tech is basically the holy grail for restaurant operators because it allows data exchange without human intervention. It completely eliminates the soul-crushing need for a manager to manually export a spreadsheet from the point of sale and then upload it to a totally separate menu board software.
It just happens automatically. Because of this powerful translation layer, your restaurant establishes a true single source of truth. Whether a customer is pulling up to the drive-thru outside or standing inside right at the counter, your integration ensures that every single display across your entire property or even across thousands of franchise locations globally reflects the exact same reality happening in your kitchen at that very second. When your POS integrates properly, the operational benefits are pretty staggering. A purchased burger instantly decrements your theoretical food cost based on its exact ingredient recipe. It tracks labor efficiency against your rush hour sales in real time, and honestly, perhaps the biggest relief of all, it automatically removes a sold-out item from the digital board in an instant. That one single feature saves your front-of-house staff from getting yelled at by disappointed customers who are trying to order something that just doesn't exist anymore. Consider what EaseCater's API integration allows operators to do today. Instead of frantically emailing an IT support desk or waiting 3 full days for a simple menu change to process, you can execute a sudden Valentine's Day special or a limited-time summer offer instantly, straight from your dashboard. It grants you total, real-time control over your business without ever having to pick up the phone. Let's move to Section 5, a step-by-step rollout and how to actually get your digital signage live without breaking your daily operations. Look, you can't just plug these systems into the wall and pray. You absolutely must follow a strict rollout process. It starts with a massive cleanup of your messy menu data, getting rid of duplicate entries and organizing your modifiers. Then you meticulously map your data fields between systems. But the real make or break step here, testing the weird edge cases. If you don't test how the system handles a bizarre split check, a voided item, or a partial comp, your entire back-end reporting can just shatter the moment you go live. So test the extremes before you do a full rollout and train your staff. Finally, we arrive at Section 6, the future of signage, and what's coming next for the tech stack. We are rapidly accelerating toward a highly connected world that is genuinely thrilling. Soon, your digital menu board will use artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things to dynamically change its promotions based entirely on ambient context. Imagine the screen outside your restaurant automatically promoting an iced coffee the second a smart city sensor detects a sudden heat wave, or pushing high-margin, quick prep meals because it senses heavy, gridlocked traffic on the local road. The level of automated responsiveness we're about to see is just incredible. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Are you still fighting with masking tape, paper menus, and chalkboards? Or are you fully ready to integrate your tech stack and conquer the future of dining? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I highly encourage you to look deeper into how these digital ecosystems can completely transform your own operations.